shared with you guys that we did about $1.6 million in the past 12 months at our cleaning firm just in repeat business. Boy, is that nice or what? Biggest marketing mistake of all, other than doing nothing at all, is not marketing to your past and existing clients. Did you guys know that it costs 5 to 6 times more to gain a new client than it does to keep an existing one? 500% more to gain a new client than it does to keep an existing one. I was a waiter when I first started my first company out of the trunk of my car, and a really high-end restaurant. And the owners of this restaurant died, and the gals that took over the restaurant really didn't have a clue how to build the business. And so it started kind of going down, and my wife and I, we got engaged there. We'd celebrate our anniversaries there, and they're always complaining about how bad business was. We try to give them advice, ideas, and everything seemed to just kind of be going over her head. And one night I was in there, and she was labeling these postcards, beautiful postcards. I remember these from the previous owner. And I said, how about those postcards? How do they work? She's like, oh, they're phenomenal. Every time we send them out, we get tons of business. And these would go out to their house accounts, regular customers. And I said, well, how often do you send them out? She said, about once a year. I'm waiting for the punchline. Why do you think she didn't send them out more often? Cost too much. After being among the top 2 restaurants in Houston, Texas, after 25 years, they closed the doors. Out of business. Bad food? No. Bad service? No. Lack of marketing sense. The University of Pennsylvania Wharton School of Business did a multi-industry study that revealed companies that were able to reduce their customer attrition rate by only 11 percentage points. Attrition is when you lose people, retention is when you keep them. Actually increased their profits by an astounding 25 to 75% depending on the industry. Wow. They're easier to service. You should get a 100% booking ratio. Who knows what I'm talking about there? You generate a prospect, they call up, doesn't mean that they're going to book with you, right? Maybe we got a 75% booking ratio, closing ratio. Maybe we got an 80%, whatever it is. But if a repeat client gets something in the mail from you or gets an email and calls you up for service, then there shouldn't be any reason why they shouldn't repeat that order unless we mess it up, right? 100%. That's cool. Back in 1999, I was mailing to my clients quarterly newsletter. And I started catching on to this, and I thought about, well, you know, what if I added 8 postcards to that and I started mailing to them monthly? I wonder what would happen. It cost me $20-something thousand, I think $21,000 at the time. Trackable return in business was over $200,000. Was that a good return? Over $200,000. So on Saturday, we're going to talk about how to track, and I've been working with a lot of you guys that are in the inner circle on how to track your repeat, referral, and new direct business. You got to track your numbers, because what happens is if you're not watching how much repeat business that's coming in, then you don't know what kind of impact it's having on you. There's 6 reasons, 6 powerful, phenomenal reasons to market to your past and existing clients. Who can tell me what TOMA stands for? Top of mind awareness. We've got the first, remember positioning that we were talking about earlier? We got to take up that slot in their mind. Branding, positioning. Creating the experience. What are we talking about in our mailers? We're talking about the cool things that we're doing, the events that we're involved in. We're talking about the awards and certificates and those kinds of things that are happening in our company to brand our company. the YouTube videos, the emails, all those kinds of things, very experiential in nature. We're going to educate. That's one of the reasons we do the newsletters. We want to get that message out that we're talking about. It's a constant drip system. We obviously want to make a sale, right? How many of you have more than one service that you provide, or more than one product, right? So one of the very best ways to market those services, most of our emergency water extraction has come from our mailers. One little line on that mailer, one little extra line, emergency water extraction. That's it. How am I going to promote my rug cleaning? How am I going to promote my stone and tile? How am I going to promote these other services that aren't my primary service? I'm going to promote them through my mailers going out to my clients. Are people going to be more likely or less likely to refer you if you're not mailing to them on a regular basis, if you're not in front of them on a regular basis? Less likely, right? So you're leaving referrals on the table. Guess what? If you're not marketing to them, someone else is. Mark. Yes. Drip system. What I mean by that is you ever seen an IV? So the IV has Ivy. Hi, Ivy. I never caught on to that. Good, Ernie. And there's a drip. Your mailers are like an IV, but the good news, this is good medicine that's constantly there to make them better their lives. So there's a constant drip of information, education, experiences, things that add value to them. Does that make sense? All right. Anybody interested in doubling their business in the next 12 months? Now, I shared with you this morning that throughout this whole process, I'm going to go over the why so that we all understand why we're doing what it is that we're doing. So, because I can tell you what to do, I can just give you the checklist, go do this, but if I don't understand why and how to do it, then I'm not going to do it. And take that a step further, if you go back and connect that to your dream, okay, yeah, now this is, I'm going to make an investment on this, I'm going to invest some money here, but if I don't do it, I'm not going to make as much money as I could. My sales aren't going to be what they could be. And if I don't get my sales, I don't get my dream. Does that make sense? All right. So here's how it happens. In fact, I ran this through a spreadsheet. We started with $88,000. How many of you believe that if you are staying in touch with your clients on a regular basis with good stuff, that you might be able to raise your price 10%? So actually we started with $80,000, so we went up to $88,000. By staying in touch, how many of you believe that maybe you could retain about 10% more of your clients by staying in constant contact with them? Yes. So that brings us up to $96,800. What if I'm promoting these other services? Could I add another 10% in other services? Sure. The last one got me. I mean, it floored me. I couldn't believe it. We said, what if we move the frequency of cleaning? Somebody was asking about this earlier. And we've got a VIP program where people pay on a maintenance plan monthly, right? So what if we just move the frequency up by 6 months? Because here's what happens is we send out a mailer and we don't have any money. So we don't send another mailer. We think we don't have any money. We can't afford it, whatever the excuse is. And 6 months go by, and by that time we've lost all the momentum. But if I'm out there in front of them on a regular basis and I move them up from cleaning every 2 years to every 18 months or every 3 years to every 2.5 years, what came out of the